Howdy, my friend. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into the foundation of our chakra system and really the foundation of our physical beingness as we talk about the root chakra. So, the root chakra is the first chakra we're going to discuss, and it is literally our connection to the physical earth. So, we think about the roots or the root chakra. Let's think about the roots of the planet and the trees and all the earthy things that roots are connected to, because it does quite literally relate to our actual connection to the earth and physical embodiment. Not only that, we think about roots, sometimes we can think about our family roots. So our family line, our lineage, our ancestors, the actual qualities and characteristics, energy that is carried in our DNA that makes up our biological self is also very much connected to this center. And then sort of graduating out of that is the very physical sense of, the circulatory system, our blood, our skeletal system, those basic fundamental primary systems that represent and are reflected in our physical embodiment are very much connected to this energy center. And that's why the color red is used to, that's the vibration of light and the color of light that we're working with when we work with the root chakra, because it is the lowest and densest vibration. So that's why we're talking about physical manifestations, physicality, this earth, this flesh and bone that we sort of inhabit and embody is very much connected to this center. And this center really is connected to our physical survival in a general sense. So we can think about it very literally in the ways I've just described it. Our connection to the earth, our ancestral lines, our DNA, our genetics, our blood, our biological self, and then all those basic systems, including the metabolism, which allows us to stay balanced, right? It's that process of building up and breaking down in a physical and a biological sense that governs this area. But when we expand that out just a little bit more, this center is very much connected to our sense of safety, our sense of security, and a sense of stability, again, here in the physical body. So if we kind of expand this out to modern day life, we're not hunter-gatherers anymore necessarily, just living off the land or on the land. So this area is also very much connected to like our physical work, the things that we do for money, because money and that exchange is very much connected to our basic needs in this current system. So money, work, finance, and home, and like our house, in a very modern sense, is also, there's going to be information and energy that really is reflected in this center as well, connected to those things. So when we get into this energy center and we're starting to work with it, this is the file folder in the computer that this energy center reflects. It's going to reflect energy and information related to all those aspects of ourselves. So when you think of the root, just think about physical body, basic needs, survival, basic sense of physical wellness and sustainability. Those are all very much characteristics, qualities, and the areas of our life that are governed by the root chakra. So let's talk a little bit about underactivity or overactivity or balance in this energy center. If we're really balanced in this energy center, we feel safe in our body, we feel secure in our body, we feel like we enjoy a sense of physical stability. So in the most basic sense, this is really reflecting it. Our basic needs are met. We have enough, it's abundant enough to have what we need, and we're safe and we're comfortable living this physically embodied existence. Well, what are some of the things that cause instability then in this energy center? Well, instability in this energy center could be caused by housing insecurity, food insecurity, threats to our physical safety, any kind of violence, or abuse that we might be a victim of. All those kinds of experiences, those kinds of traumas, all would be reflected and sort of carried in the energy of the root chakra. Of course, there's that physical experience, right? There's a physical dimension of this where we actually might have experienced, we don't have a lot of money, or we've been housing insecure, or food insecure, or we've had threats to our physical safety. But the other thing that can cause instability in this energy center is also just the perception of that. And that's something to really keep in mind when we work with the chakra systems and the energy, is that in a way you can almost put as much weight on the subjective sort of perceptual aspect of our existence as much as you can on the actual physical reality and experience. Because if I perceive that I am in danger and that my physical body is unsafe and that the things around me are a threat, or that I'm not going to have enough food tomorrow to eat, or my housing is not guaranteed, even just the thought of that, even if in reality that is not the case, we can find instability in this energy center, which then can kind of throw our energy system out of whack. And the one point that I'm not going to go too deep into, I don't want to go off in a on a rant about the economic cultural systems that we currently are participating in, but I feel a little irresponsible not to talk a little bit about it. If you think about this sort of competition mentality and that we experience in the way capitalism is currently sort of executed or carried out, every day we wake up in a very competitive society, even though there's plenty of abundance, right? But we're competing for jobs, we're competing for money, you're competing for attention, all that kind of stuff. At the most fundamental level, even though there's plenty of food to go around, there's plenty of housing, if we would just choose to do that and share that with one another, the ways in which we eat up the land and exploit the land to consume and to build, we're kind of working against ourselves in that way. So there is a dimension of our current existence that at the most fundamental level, at this root chakra level, we're kind of born into a system and a culture that immediately almost destabilizes our whole entire energetic system. This is the root chakra. So I talked about all the chakras being connected, and thinking about the water wheels and how they spin and one flows into the other. Well, right here at the bottom, if we're born into a system of competition and we feel like we have to fight and scrap and compete just to get a job or just to keep a roof over our head or to keep food on the table, and we're in that survival mindset, even though in modern life, a lot of our physical survival is almost all but guaranteed, it's the system that creates competition and scarcity. We're already kind of in an energetic and a spiritual sense fighting a little bit of an uphill battle. So it is my own personal view, just from my work that I do as an intuitive, as someone who works with energy and has come to understand these systems very deeply, we could do ourselves a really big favor by removing the desperation from our culture and our system, by just ensuring that our basic needs and physical survival needs are met, because that would allow us to then move through the rest of this system in a more harmonized and balanced way. So it can be very challenging. It can be very challenging because even if physically our needs are met, if in our mind and psychologically we don't believe this, and we see this in the mindset of perhaps people who accumulate a tremendous amount of wealth but still continue to compete and to grow and to build and exploit, they're suffering from the same sort of energetic imbalance as someone who is experiencing homelessness or experiencing food insecurity. It's in a very physical sense. So that's a physical, actual reality for them. But then for people who suffer from this in a psychological sense, they're experiencing, again, the same imbalance, the same instability. So working with this root chakra center can help us come into more alignment and kind of reconnect to the habits and the practices, the energy that we need to start to work towards harmony and balance from a very inside out, from a physical sense onward. And so we have a responsibility in doing this for ourselves, and then we also have a responsibility in being balanced in this way for others, so that we're working to ensure not just that our physical needs and our safety is met, but that we're respecting and cultivating a community and a culture and a society that also provides that safe space for other people, so that they can then self-realize and bring themselves into spiritual harmony and spiritual balance. So those are some things to consider and think about when we're working with the root chakra. With that being said, now that I've given my socioeconomic lecture about the root chakra and its connection to basic needs and meeting those needs, let's work with this energy center now to kind of become aware of anything that might come up for us, or just to connect to some sense of balance, and harmony in the center for ourselves. And we're going to do that. We're going to cultivate that with a meditation practice. And what I love about doing this is it allows things to come into our awareness. So again, whether we're working with it in a very physical sense, like, yeah, I really do, there are physical basic needs. This can kind of help us put us in the mindset and the space to perhaps come into a balance enough to find the pathway to having those needs met in a spiritual way, to creating the openness and the possibility for us to work our way into that space. And then on the other side, if we're kind of on the other end of it and we're kind of in this survival mindset, but we have everything that we need, but we still continue to sort of play that game of a scarcity mindset, then we can bring ourselves into more balance. We might recognize, where we can give a little bit, or we might be able to cultivate a sense of balance in that way that affects not just ourselves, but the people around us. All right. So wherever you are now, go ahead and get into your nice, comfortable meditative position. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to use the soul force field meditation to drop in, and then we're going to get down into the root, work with our breath to breathe and bring energy into the root chakra. And on those exhales, we're going to release and let go of anything that's blocking this energy center up, anything that's keeping it dense, anything that is not allowing this revitalized, more harmonized, more balanced, more aligned with loving awareness sort of energy that we want to welcome in. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes and just take a big deep breath in. Exhale, release. Bring yourself present to the here and now. And to start, just begin working with some conscious breathing. Go ahead and enter into some rhythmic breathing to drop a little deeper here. Go ahead and drop into a soul force field meditation. Dropping your grounding cord. Connect to the earth. Connecting to divine heaven and bringing that in. Cycling that energy to create a safe and sacred space for loving awareness. So go ahead and do that in your own way and in your own time. Once we make that connection, go ahead and invite in the wisdom of loving awareness to help harmonize, balance, and support our root chakra. And on your next inhale, take a big deep breath in. Exhale, release, draw your awareness all the way to the base of the spine, connecting to the root chakra. And as you begin to breathe, access this center by engaging in some rhythmic breathing. And as you inhale, imagine a bright and vibrant red light begins to come into your system by way of the breath. And as you exhale, you release, feeling that bright and beautiful light begin to spin and swirl in a clockwise motion at the base of the spine, activating and energizing the root center. With every breath, it spins a little brighter, spins a little faster. And just pay attention to what this center feels like as you breathe through it, inhaling and exhaling. Just feel into the energy of the center, any sensations that come in or arise. Now you'll spend a little extra time focusing on the exhale. As you exhale, you're going to release anything that no longer serves you in the center. So you'll breathe in a bright red light, and as you exhale, you feel yourself release anything heavy and dense down the grounding cord. And this is just setting the intention to release anything that no longer serves you. Anything that's the cause of an imbalance in the center. And just using the breath to breathe through this, exhaling and releasing. Pay attention to any thoughts, emotions, or memories, feelings that arise. Continue to breathe, set that intention to bring this energy center into harmony and balance in an intuitive way. So just using your intuition, breathe in and out and feel into what this energy center looks like and feels like when it's in balance, and just slowly allow the breath to bring that into existence. Go ahead and ask if there's any information or awareness that wants to come forth from this energy center to help you come into balance and healing. Give thanks for any wisdom or messages that dropped in. Give thanks for this opportunity to connect to this energy center. Give thanks for any balance, healing, and harmony that has been brought into this center. And we're going to use 3 big energy clearing breaths to kind of just integrate and embody the health and balance of this center. So take a big deep breath in. Exhale, release. Feel this energy center sort of integrate and become embodied and whole in the here and now. Another big deep breath in. Exhale, release. Feeling harmony and balance in the root chakra. One more time, take a big deep breath in. Exhale, release. Feeling yourself return to the present moment. Feeling grounded. Feeling connected to this earth and your body. Feeling safe in the present moment. And we'll give thanks for this opportunity to be alive and breathing. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Feeling pretty grounded, doing that out here in nature. The birds chirping behind me. How you feeling? Hopefully you feel a little more grounded, a little more connected to your physical self. I'd love to know what information came in. The mantra that came in for me was, I am safe, there is enough. Very fitting mantra for the moment, very fitting mantra for this, obviously, this energy center, and a mantra that we can work with as we try to bring harmony and balance and healing into this center. I am safe, and there is enough. A really great mantra to work with to help bring harmony and balance into this energy center, to kind of fix our channels, to fix this channel specifically on that programming, to use a little bit of analogy. Continue to work with this chakra center for the next week or so. That's my recommendation. Move through it as you see fit. But continue to work with it. Connect to this center. Another thing that'll really enhance your work with this center for sure is getting outside in nature. I cannot stress that enough. I value my nature time so much. And the deeper I go on this journey, the more I work with energy, the more vital it feels like it is to spend time in nature and to literally ground and connect to the earth. Put your feet in the dirt, put your feet in the grass, put your feet in the sand, actual skin to dirt contact. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Lay in the grass, hug a tree. It's a really, really excellent way to just harmonize, balance, sync ourselves with the vibration and the frequency of the earth. It can be very healing. My nature time has become vital. So if you work with these mantras, you work with this meditation, work in some nature time, and I'll be really curious to see how you feel incorporating that into sort of your daily practice and your lifestyle. Please let me know how that goes. Engage with the prompts connected to this video. Would love to hear your reflections if you feel called. If not, journal for yourself, kind of track your own progress. Lean into how you feel before and after tuning into this center and working with it, and just kind of track and see what shifts and how it shifts from this very basic place, the very root of your physical beingness. I'll be curious to see what kind of transformation unfolds as you continue to work with this particular center. So Thank you so much for being here today. When you're ready, you've spent your time with this section and with this energy center, and you're feeling really good about it. Move on to the next section. We're going to talk about the sacral chakra, our center of creativity, self-expression, our sense of joy and pleasure and sensuality and sexuality. A really powerful energy center we're moving into next. So when you're ready for that, click into the next section, and I look forward to seeing you for the next week's work. Adios.